Would you remarry again? That's a question my wife, Marianne, asked me, and I was like, "What are you asking me that for? I mean, we've been married, 52 years. I don't like that question. Don't ask me that question." And there was a good reason. We were talking about our wills, and we were gonna update our will. Um, we moved, and we wanted to meet with the attorney to, make sure everything was up to date, and we had been thinking about that, about our will. And her question was based on that, "Would you remarry again?" And there were some very good reasons she asked me that question. I've been thinking about that. I'm gonna share that with you. Okay, for context, there are many seniors that are now single. Some have lost a spouse. We know quite a few people that have lost spouses. There are some that are divorced. We don't know too many seniors that are divorcing, but the headlines say there is a wave of seniors later in life that are divorcing. And of course, there are people that have been never married and are single. I just know from our singles club here at our retirement community, there are hundreds and hundreds of people that are members of the singles club. For long married people, this question is kind of hard to even imagine, much less answer. Would you remarry again? But it's a real issue, come to find out, and something that needs to be discussed. I'm not giving advice here. I'm just raising some questions and some points for everybody to consider, including myself and my wife. And I'm no expert at this. This is brand new for me to think about it, but I wanted to share my thinking with you. I think in context of that question, Marianne really was thinking, what about our finances? We've started with nothing and we built up our retirement nest egg. And, we're not super wealthy or anything like that, but we do have a house paid off and we do have our retirement funds that we think is sufficient to last us the rest of our lives. And the way we have it, not to share too much personal information with you, but in our wills, if I die first, everything goes to Marianne. And if she dies first, everything goes to me. Now, we have contingencies on that, of course, but her question was, suppose, she dies first and everything goes to me, and then I hook up with some floozy. She didn't use the word floozy, but you know what I mean. If I if I hook up with somebody and got married again, would that nullify the will? You know? Would her family or her heirs just miss out completely? I mean, it's a good question. And of course, it would work the same if she died first. I mean, I died first. She got everything. Would everything go to, if she got remarried, would everything be split with her new spouse? I mean, it could be. I'm not sure. Anyway, we discussed it and talked about it. We worked something out in agreement. We trust each other, but also we put it in writing. Now, I think probably you could work things out with a trust. If you got children, we didn't have any children, so we didn't have that factor, but we got relatives. But if you had children or relatives that you wanted things to go to, you could meet with a trust attorney and work that out, where that's taken care of no matter what. That's something to consider. So there may be other financial things too. The Social Security benefits may change. If you draw Social Security based on a former spouse's Social Security and then you remarry, it may change things. I'm no expert on that. I'm just mentioning that may be something to consider. Wills and estate must be rewritten. We just talked about that. I mean, that's a biggie and something to consider. Partners' debts can affect you. That would be scary, wouldn't it? We don't have any debt. We haven't had any debt in a long time. And to think that's getting remarried and somebody's debts now become my debts, that would be something I wouldn't look forward to. Inheritance for kids and grandkids could be affected. As I said, we didn't have kids, so that's not affecting us directly, but most people do have kids and grandkids. and getting remarried may affect that. Prenuptial agreement, let's talk about that. They say that's a very good thing to have. If you got some assets, having a prenup is a good idea for clarity. And they say, don't let romance get in the way. It's not mistrust, it's just being clarifying things and being honest and upfront about it. So maybe a prenup is the way to go. Wasn't it Paul McCartney? I don't know for sure, but I think it was Paul McCartney. One of his wives, they did not have a prenup. He didn't have a prenup. And when they divorced, she took millions of dollars. I mean, she may deserve it. I'm not saying that. I think they had a kid together. So, who knows? But that had to be a factor. So the financial part is important, very important. But this kind of goes beyond money too. I mean, um, one thing, your end of life options, your advanced care directives, you name somebody there. And when you get remarried, you have a spouse. That spouse, I think, can can override things, and they have their number one position to have their input about your life or death. So that may be important to consider and rewrite your advanced care directives and make that clear. Blended families, again, kids and holidays and feelings and all the things you run into. You're not just marrying someone, you're marrying their family. I mean, that's something to consider. Even me, that didn't have kids, if I were to marry somebody, maybe they do have kids, and boy, that would be a trip. I'm not used to kids. And I know they're adult kids, but even more so, they're very opinionated, and they either like you or dislike you. They've got an opinion about you, and they may be even if she had some assets also, in my case, um, they may think that I'm, going after her assets or something. Who knows? There's something to think about. Companionship versus independence. I mean, you know, you become pretty set in your ways at this age, and you enjoy being independent to some regards. And companionship, how much do you want to be around somebody? There's a saying about traveling. If you don't travel with friends, don't travel with friends. And the reason they say that is because we took a trip with friends, and it's a little different. I mean, if you take a cruise, you can do your own thing and meet at dinner, whatever. That's fine. Going on a other trip, I mean, you run into conflicts. Somebody wants to get started early. Somebody you mention something and somebody shoots it down. All kind of conflicts. So just because you like somebody, do you really want to spend all the time with them? I don't know. I don't know. Lifestyle. Some people are quiet, like quiet mornings. Some people like to get started early. I know that for sure. Um, some people like to travel. Some people hate traveling. Um, Man, there's so many factors to consider. So many factors. You could probably love somebody, but still, there's so many life factors by this age we've been through. And can you do a reset to adjust to somebody new? Wow. I don't even want to think about it. So it's beyond money. Things I've observed is the next section here in this community. We have 1,700 people in single family homes, and we have quite a few single people here. They have a singles club. I don't know how many members they've got, maybe 400 or 500 members since we've been here 10 years. We've seen people lose a spouse, and they sooner or later they have paired up with somebody. And not everybody. So a lot of people, not as a lot of the singles don't want to pair up. They enjoy their independence. They definitely do not want to get remarried again. They're single and they enjoy it for the first time in their life. Other people are lonely and they want to pair up with someone, and they do. And many, many times they keep their homes and they never remarry. So they're not interested in getting remarried. but they are interested in hooking up and acting as a couple. And they share their time and activities together. Travel is a big thing, and we've seen this over and over again. A retirement community such as I live in is ideal for that because everybody has their own home, single family home, and they're near each other, so they're in the same community. Somebody mentioned plus one. A lady mentioned this to me. She's a single lady. She said, plus, it's good to have a plus one. And what does that mean? Well, two can enjoy many things together. It's kind of hard to do things on your own. For example, travel. I mean, like that one lady said, she said she really enjoys having somebody to travel with. And I can certainly see that. Going to plays and concerts, you could go by yourself, but that's a pretty lonely way to do it. I can see it's much more enjoyable to go with somebody else. Dining out. I mean, you could eat lunch by yourself, but you go out to a nice dinner. I've seen people do that by themselves, by the way, and I'm not saying not to do that. Don't get me wrong, but I can see how it'd be very enjoyable to have someone to go to dinner. Holidays and community events, it's always nice to have somebody to go with. And of course, very important thing is also health support. So if you at this age, we know how many different procedures we have and how many illnesses we have, and it's nice to have somebody to check on you, to be there with you, to bring you home from the hospital, to pick up your medicine, to bring food and check on you. And so health support is a major factor of having a plus one. So to wrap it up, there are plenty of seniors that are single. It's hard to say. And a lot of people that could be affected by this. And it's a very important question. Would you remarry again? That's a big question. And how about you? Would you remarry again? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the consequences of remarrying again? Have you remarried again and had a good experience, good or bad? Let us know in the comments. Um, if you're single and the last thing in your mind would be to get remarried, let us know that in the comments. And why do you like being single and not getting remarried again? Something to consider. And Marianne was right when she asked me, would I get remarried again? It kind of triggered some thinking about this question. And I think it helped us to come to an agreement in our personal situation. And maybe this question will help you also think about some things that may improve your situation. This is Robert's Active Retirement. I really appreciate your watching and all your comments. Thanks and welcome to all the new subscribers. And we will catch you next week.